Have you ever lost time? I don't mean a few minutes, I mean hours. Have you ever lost hours with someone else? I have. I was, I'm going to tell you my story. A friend of mine and myself are about 19. We're the same age. I'm 43 now. We, we were kind of fresh out of school and we enjoyed going to state park about 20-minute haul from where we live. Yeah, like there's Indian mounds there. There's some cliffs and stuff. It's a pretty cool place for flat cornfield land, right? It's the most interesting place anywhere close. West of the Mississippi in this state, pretty much. Well, we went to the park. We started walking down the path that we'd always walked on. It was late fall. It's probably around noon to 1 o'clock. Well, we parked my truck. We started walking down this path, and we're walking under some trees. And this I can't recall what kind of tree it is, but it sheds these things where they're about 6 inches long, and it's like a shell that holds these little seeds in it. Barely weighs anything, but you can whip them, right? So my buddy's probably, like 20 feet in front of me. He's got his back towards me. We're walking the same direction down the path. Well, I took this thing and I whipped it. And oh man, it was perfect. It curved right around his face, smacked him square in the nose, right? And it's odd because anything that flew through the air, we used to joke it would break Dave's nose. And this is true. Well, guess what? It broke his nose. I'm talking ounces, right? It was just a freak shot. So he turns around and, we're kind of pushing each other and stuff. And yeah, he's got a broken nose. It sucks, but it was a common occurrence with Dave, right? Just like I said, he just broke his nose all the time. The wind could blow wrong, guy's gonna break his nose. So, he it's not really bleeding too much. We're just like screwing around. We get walking and we find a place to stop. Well, we sit on our asses. We're about maybe 20 feet apart, right? We're kind of at this clearing, and it's like a clearing in the trees. It's right on the side of the path. It's a good place to stop. We'd stopped there before. Well, we used to partake in the old ganja, right? I was 19. Um, so we're smoking. We got a little bit closer and stuff. We started smoking. Well, I recall then, and I'm saying this because this is one of the last memories that we collectively had. I passed it to him and stuff, and one of the final things I recall is there was a section of clouds directly over us, and they were like spinning. It was almost like a funnel. It was odd. It wasn't a tornado. It was like a funnel. And he looks at me and I look at him and we're like, what in the hell? Now knowing what I do, it resembled kind of like a portal. Sounds odd. Everything I'm telling you is reality to me. This is the most factual that I can make this, okay? I'm telling you to the best of my knowledge. It's been a long time, but this stands out in my mind, okay? So It's spiraling. It's going clockwise. It is directly over us. Um, so we kind of tilt back more, and we're looking up. Well, I'm not even joking, and this has nothing to do with what we were partaking in. We were veterans. Okay, this was just like a every day at the office to us. So it didn't have anything to do with that. The sky was like a neon orange. This wasn't fall. There's no storms, nothing like that. These clouds were super low, and unlike the blanket of clouds that was up in the air, probably another 1,000 feet. I mean, freak phenomena. Like, we didn't know what we were looking at. Okay. Now, this park, you probably could call it high strange. There's some cliffs out there. The Indian Mounds are out there. Um, they average about a death per season out there, like just certain little odd things, okay, but none to warrant what we were experiencing. Well, then all of a sudden, these clouds are spiraling lower, directly over us, mind you, and enough that I can recall them going clockwise. Well, it's like someone had flipped a switch to time. Okay, this is going to sound strange. I'm telling you the truth. I don't care how it sounds. Oh well, this is what I recall very well. Well, all of a sudden, he looks at me and I look at him, and it was very odd. We collectively realized we were sharing each other's thoughts. Yeah, I'm ready. Well, I probably actually will get comments on this one. Um, and we're watching these clouds get lower. I could feel they were cold. And the next thing we knew, keep in mind, it's about 12 o'clock. We're walking back down that path where I had thrown it at my friend and broke his nose, this little copter thing from the tree. We're walking towards my truck, and it's now getting dark. We lost 5 hours. Literally 5 hours. We are like, what in the hell? But there are cliffs out there and things like that. It's getting dark. So we're like, all right, whatever. We tried to recall anything we could. Not a single memory. We couldn't think of anything we said, anything we saw. Nothing. Literally nothing. It's like, snap the fingers and we're back at my truck. Okay. It's really odd. Well, time goes by. It had been probably 3 or 4 days, and now all of a sudden I'm getting memories. Very, very shady, but I can recall certain things. The first thing to come to my mind was a feeling that I had, and it was utter terror. I don't mean being afraid, I mean terror, helplessness, terror, okay? And he doesn't recall anything, but as I do, I am calling him and updating him on, because we didn't know what the hell. He's a very practical guy. He's not into none of this stuff. And still this day, he'll probably tell you he recalls nothing, but he will vouch for the time that we had missed. Now, I started getting more memories weeks after that, and it was of laying down on something cold. It was, I was on my back, he was on his back. He was kind of tilted to the left-hand side, I was kind of tilted to the right-hand side, and we could see each other's faces. Our eyes were locked, and I've never had sleep paralysis, but I would liken it to how people explain that. I felt like there was something in the room with us, and it was horrifying, okay? And I could see the terror in Dave's face. I could read his thoughts as he's looking in my face. I'm looking at his, and I can read his thoughts. And he's like, "How do we get out of here?" It's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm fucking frozen. I was so afraid, but I couldn't move. I couldn't cry out. I couldn't do anything. But the look in his eyes, I can still see it very vividly, of fear, of terror. Um, this is what I recall as time had went on. Now, the other thing, I do recall one more thing. In this sequence, it's like time had stopped and we were removed out of 3D time. Okay, it's the only way I can explain it. There was a metal piece put into my left wrist, like a little metal something put into my left wrist. I would love to x-ray it and see if I can find something in there. I think it's definitely likely there's something in there, okay? Well, I had come to find out that abductees have Rh negative blood a lot of the time. Guess what? Yeah, B negative. So that would hold, in line with that as well. But we had lost time. Have you ever lost time? Have you ever experienced anything like this? And if so, have you ever been with someone else while this takes place? Because it was like, snap your fingers, we're back on the path at my truck without recollection at all. As time went on, it was in brownout, not blackout. It started to come back to me. The terror. And I never saw anything with us. I felt the presence, but I only saw my buddy. I can still see the look in his eyes right now. Literally, I can see it. It's vivid, vivid, vivid. We are frozen, helpless. Now, there was something in there with us that took us, I believe, against our will. This has only taken place me one time in my life. Now I have a spiritual guidance that would never allow something like that. All I have to do is cry out his name, and I believe he would make that stop in a second. But yes, so that is my missing time story. Have you guys ever had missing time? Hours. If you have, let me know. That would be very interesting. Or just tell me I'm nuts. That'd be cool too. I only seem to get comments from my buddy Sheepdog. You all can fuck off. But no, yeah, tell me if you've ever experienced anything like this. Still to this day, my buddy, I am pretty dang sure, remembers nothing. I started to recall it with time. Fun stuff, huh? Peace.